It's the whiteboard, and it's Wednesday, and it's WhiteBoard Wednesday. Last week's WhiteBoard Wednesday, we talked about your superpower. What superpower are you? And my superpower that I revealed was I don't get offended. I don't stay offended. It is what it is. I've gotten feedback from people about that not being offended way of living. Apparently, they like the idea of living a life where they're not offended. So for today's WhiteBoard Wednesday, I thought how to not always be offended would be a topic that we could discuss today. Thank you again for joining us on today's WhiteBoard Wednesday. The trick of not being offended, I'm going to give you three ways to ensure that you're not always living a life where someone says hello and you're offended. These are the three things. It starts with confidence, self-confidence. Confidence is more powerful than experience, than talent, than gifting, than knowledge, than wisdom. Confidence trumps them all. Self-confidence is so powerful in understanding who you are. Individuals that are confident in themselves know that there is a risk of failure. However, their belief and their self-confidence allows them to try multiple things. The more times you try, the more times you fail. The more times you fail builds up a defense mechanism around being offended, where when others say something about you, you're offended. And this leads us down to the conversation of identity. We can agree we have an identity crisis all across the world. Social media doesn't help. We seek validation in others, and our identity is then compromised. I've asked this question in all of my sessions about 30 to 40 times last year. I only received one yes to this question. Received one today, so now we have two yeses to the question that I'm about ready to ask you so you can ponder it. Have you ever done something where in the middle of the activity you thought to yourself, maybe even said it out loud, I was born for this? Only two people have said yes. A lot of us don't know what we were born to do. So if you've never said the words, I was born for this, you're still searching for your identity. When you're searching for your identity, you're not as confident in yourself because you still don't know. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. Self-confidence, start that journey. What am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? What gives me fulfillment? When we don't have a strong understanding of who we are, we can become easily offended. Number two, self-awareness. Number one was self-confidence. Number two is self-awareness. When you increase an awareness about who you are, again, it's all tied into identity. When you increase your self-awareness and eventually self-efficacy, the definition of self-efficacy refers to an individual's belief in his or her capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainments. We're so wrapped up into a digital, artificial world. When you're wrapped up into a digital, artificial world, the opposite word of artificial, remember, is genuine. You're not genuine with yourself. So it can be hard to be aware of how you feel, which means you got to unplug more. Ask yourself questions. Why do I feel this way? Start a journal. What did I eat today? How did it make me feel? Why, when they told me that, did I feel this way? When you get offended, start asking yourself, what about what they said, what about what they did is causing me to feel this way? That'll increase your self-awareness. So you work on your self-confidence by aligning things that you do well and stacking the wins, and then you increase your self-awareness, which leads to number three. Self-care. The decision to care for yourself or to implement self-care, are you ready for this? Is forgiving yourself and loving yourself, in that order. There are parts of you in your life where you made a mistake and you haven't forgiven yourself. We've talked about this on many WhiteBoard Wednesdays. Self-care, forgive yourself and move forward so you can love yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you don't love who you are not going to express love to others. We're not talking about intimate love. Remember a few weeks back, WhiteBoard Wednesday, where we went into the different definitions of love? We're talking about the kind of love that allows you and helps you focus on ensuring that your spiritual health is good, that your physical health is good, that your emotional health is good, that your intellectual health is good, and that your financial health is good. All of that falls under self-care. So when I walk around confident in who I am and someone criticizes me, I'm not offended because I know, I've seen, I've developed everything about me in that. Last night we played hoops. I didn't make one shot. Did not make, like 0 for 8. I've been in the gym where I've hit 9 out of 10 NBA three-pointers in a 10-shot sequence. I've seen me make shots. In fact, during warm-ups, I made 5 threes in a row. During the game, I was 0 for 8. My point is that if you've seen yourself do something, you can believe in that regardless of what anyone else thinks. When you're starting into something new, I read a book that said I need to feel uncomfortable. Okay, really? If you need to feel uncomfortable outside what you were created to do and how you were created and what you were created for, and now you're just heaping on more emotional stress, your emotional and your mental health is no longer healthy. It is now compromised. So here's the way to live a life where you're not easily offended. Self-confidence. Get that confidence up. Self-awareness. Go deep into who you are so you can take care of who you are. My name is Troy Ritchie, and if you don't know me, you will.